was interesting. I guess I must have braced that too far over this way. That's why I was getting that chatter on the drill bit. I had this too far over this side, not enough bracing onto the point. But let's see what we got. That's good. Here, it's good. Alright, I think I'll put one of these here. Speed that up a little. Okay. Now we'll just take this off of here. Trying to improve my housekeeping. Much better. Okay. Let's get here. All right, we're going to put these brackets on now and just head and made the or okay. Now, the other side, once this is put together at the proper spacing, we'll not be able to, well, I'll go ahead and mount this other one on the other side, and then we can still put the swivel in place. This, by the way, is a welding holder. That's what we're building here. Okay. That's the right rear. That side. Yeah, let's see. Move that there. See if I can push this side over. Okay, now that will be the top. This will be with the welding. Let me get that other part over here. Yeah. Okay. Now this part will be mounted up inside of here. Actually, yeah, like so. Okay. I'm going to show you this. Part. Now you can see this is the rotary head Kearney and Trecker 2D mill. Now I set it out and I started to cut this hole. It was in this position. This was down like this. This was up. The cutting bit started out here and started around this direction. Now, I didn't know how deep I wanted to go with it. This was the second cut here. What happened was, it got around here and I hadn't locked the table. So when it got here, it started pulling the table back that way and cutting in this way. And then eventually it got a little bit around here and then it started cutting in this way and it was pulling the table back this way. So it was moving the table because I didn't have the table locked. I was not paying attention. I was doing something else while this was rotating and cutting. And I got back over there about here and I saw what was happening and I said, well, just let it continue until it gets back into the circumference that we want and then we'll reset it and lock the table. So I did, and then I made the final cut around here and trimmed out that. But that's where this loop-de-loop came from. That little 2D small horsepower, half-inch quarter-horse motor with a half-inch end mill was pulling the whole table back and forth, and that table weighs about 400 pounds. I also cut this with that, and now these multiple holes, that requires another explanation. The reason they're in there is this first one, I just flat missed the calculation. I just figured the calculation was a different calculation than it was. And I punched these 3 holes, and that was to, those holes correlate with the holes in the Ford Explorer front wheel bearing that I'm using to rotate. So anyway, I discovered that right away. I tried to put it on there. And so then I was more accurate. The second set of holes, I did the same thing. And again, I missed the math on the hole by 50 thousandths. And so the holes were too close together again. So then I took my time and I figured it out and I reset them. But those three series of holes with that Kearney and Trekker, it wasn't a big deal. You just reset the head and then you rotate it out a number of degrees each time and boom, you punch them out. But then of course this is for the drive motor that will sit down in here like this. Yeah. There we go. It'll sit like this and it will rotate the head. But now I have to set up the stops for the head rotation. So that's the project I'm doing right now. So I'll bring this out so you can see these are the holes here that go into those. This is a Ford Explorer four-wheel drive front hub bearing and hub, and I cut the teeth in there. There's 120 teeth on 6 inches, and that matches the teeth for that windshield wiper motor. So let me set this up now, and I have to weld up the bracket. It's gonna hold it, the positioning bracket. Okay, we're starting to weld this together now. Getting the pieces up, and I need to get it partially assembled so I can see if everything's going to work properly. Got a couple of beads on there on each side. I'll probably put a angle iron down here, weld that in next, and also one in the front. This piece, I'm going to mount this up, and I'll see how the swivel, when I mount that's pretty heavy and a lot of weight forward, so I don't know how I'm going to control that. I've got my Acme threaded rod that I turned. I think I can control this with the rod. We'll see if it's not too heavy, and then keep in mind too that there'll be something on there weight-wise, whatever we might have to put down at an angle. So I haven't got the stops and the goes yet figured out, but I know one thing I got figured out. I needed some leggings on my tennis shoes. They keep burning holes in my foot. Welding there. But okay, we got this started, so we'll keep at this here for. We got those bolts that we threaded yesterday, and the plates, and this project isn't a rush project. This is just go as we go with it, So, all right, more later. Okay. I put this together. This piece here is strictly so I can set it up so I can manipulate it while I'm evaluating what the next part of the project is going to be, and see how how much weight there is. I think this 5/8 Acme thread that I cut will handle that. It's quite a bit of weight, but I'm going to lever it here. Okay, there'll be a bracket here with a gimbal mount. This is a bearing I put in there. I cut this washer and mounted it in there. So the gimbal mount will be a square 1/2-inch plate. Go over this, and I have a backing plate that'll hold it here. And then I'll mount the nut back here, and as this turns, it'll pull it back this way and also act as a stop for it or whatever, brake. And then that will pull it back to here. Then cranking it forward, it'll lift it up. And I may have to leave this handle on there for a helper, I don't know. And then I'll, at the same time, I'll evaluate whether or not I have to put some stops, put a spring-loaded stop in there for it. Just to show how this goes on now. This will be mounted in here like so, on that. And of course there's plenty of room for it to clear. And it will provide the rotation for the motor. I've got plenty, I cut plenty of thread. So now it's just a little engineering balance here, or mathematical balance. I'll put a leg down here to mount the gimbal on here, and then I'll gimbal this nut, this Acme nut back here on the back, and between those two, and put a wheel or a crank handle on this, and that should suffice. And we can always add or subtract or make changes or making a gimbal mount, and I started using this. I tried to take the whole, I was going to take the whole cut all at once. Take the camera off here. And yeah, you can see the first lip up here. I took the first, this wide cut right up here. And then I just moved the bit in half of that cut. So now I'm cutting this part here, which is I've got a 3/4 inch hole, and I'm cutting out maybe a little less than an inch right now, I think. Maybe 800,000, something like that. And then I'm going to go up to, I got to get up to 120 for the bearing for the gimbal mount. The big key is to get the right depth here now. So, I'll get down, see if I can measure off, I'll put something, figure out how deep I am here. I want to stop when I got about 100 thousandths left. I got a 1/2 inch piece, and I'm I'm putting a 10 millimeter wide bearing inside of there, and I want it to butt up against the back side, and then I'm going to put a plate on this side to hold it in place. So I think I think it's something that I'll figure out what depth I'm in at right now. Do a little research here. Yeah, it definitely cuts better going smaller chunks. Yeah, I still got a couple 100,000 there. All right, let me do some research. I think I'm binding up on the feed. I might have the feed tightened up or something. Let me just I'll get back on it here in a bit. Okay, now we got that cutter out there for the size. This is the gimbal mount that we're working on here. And we got the this is a test bearing. Okay, that's the bearing. It'll be on the end of the Acme threaded rod we cut. Now I got to I'll take these off. I'll thread these off on the outside. That's no problem. I'm going to leave this set up because I want to. I'll cut another piece with a couple of holes and a center hole here for that rod to go through. This is the rod here. That's going to go inside. Let's see, I guess I'm done with that piece in here. I can bust this loose. Alright. Cut it to size. I may have to see what we got here. You see that? Yeah, okay. That piece will go in there, like so. All right, I'm gonna have to ream this out just a little bit. All right. So this is small enough that it'll hold the bearing in, and then I'll have the plate on this side here. We'll set that in there now. We'll cut a plate. This will be the gimbal mount. Then we'll gimbal it here and here. I'll cut this off, and this will turn inside that bearing, and the nut will be out here. And move it forward and back. That'll be one side. I'll set one up for the other side. Okay, what we got, all right, this is, this system here now. This is a double gimbal mount. We turned this Acme rod. Bought this Acme nut from Masters. Now we turn these, cut these pieces for mounting brackets, and I'm going to set that down in here like this. Okay, now we'll see if you can see what that looks like up close. Take this off of here. Okay, that piece is going to be welded up there, those two brackets. The reason I'm using this big square piece for the bracket is I may want to put holes over on this side to build a stop. So once we weld this in place, magnet, there. Then this piece here, this will be gimbaled here. When we turn this, it'll bring the unit in a 90-degree arc from where it is now. When you turn this over, that's going to be facing straight up. Then anywhere from 0 to 90 degrees can be adjusted with this Acme thread rod here. So I'm going to weld those on now, and once that's in place, then we'll turn this thing upright, and we can finish it off, do the wiring and the rest of it. There's the welding cable. I have to make a handle for this. You see, it'll take it any from flush straight up and down this way. Now it go any angle in this direction if you wanted to set something on here and turn it to have it spin while you're welding it. At that angle, that's fine. Or it'll go all the way down to 90. And my engineering is just a hair off on the I get down to 90 here. I put a stop in here, and once it goes to 90, and just one turn on the Acme screw, one turn too far. My angle now is I got a perfect 90 with the base, so I can do long shafts or weld or whatever in that position. And of course, when I hook up the motor, it'll turn. But in order to get it back up now, I've got to give it a little bit of a head start, because it goes, the Acme thread goes just a hair past 90, and then it catches in a limbo land there. So, but actually it's a one-finger operation. This rather than hobbing a screw and gear, I figured I went for the cutting an Acme screw and an Acme nut. So I have the two gimbal mounts, one here and one here. Now I'll fabricate a handle here and get the electrical put on, and put a couple of switches on the control panel here, make it all fancy. But the tough part's done now. It's just do a little cosmetics, and there you can see the gimbal mount there for that end. And if you look down in there, you can see the gimbal mount there with the Acme nut on it. See it from here, and you can see the gearing. Okay, next time we see it, probably I'll have the electrical hooked up. We'll have it in operation. This is going to be the handle for welding holder, and we're going to turn this down to a 1/2 inch, shoulder it here, run it in there, drill this, and Loctite a bolt and a washer on there for the handle. And then weld this, weld this piece on here. Well, this goes on here, and that's going to be the crank for turning the head up and down. Okay, I think that's where we want to be. That'll. I'm going to just touch this off and drill it out. So. All right. You know. Okay, let's see what we got now. There we are. Okay, that's going to be the crank. I'll clean this up and round it off. We'll weld it on there. And there we have it. Okay. Had to put a little jury, a round rod. You know, we're going to hold something to the end of a round rod. So get some clamps together and got it pretty well set up here now, so we'll go ahead and start welding that up. I should be using my TIG for this. God knows I need the practice, the TIG, so. But it's, I'm trying to get something accomplished. It's just tough to learn at this point, you know. You know, I can do pretty good feeds with it, but you want to be the absolutely positively has to be there type deal. What the heck did I do with my goals? There they are. All right. Let's get some. Over here. pretty much what we want now. That shot just to make it look prettier, I think. All right. What do we got? All right. There we go. Nothing to it. Yeah, it warmed that up a little bit, made it snug. There we go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, I better get busy on my electrical. Here, we'll get this set up and make it a turnable. Nice. In case you see this weird welding here, I was playing with, I was going to do 3 layers and 4 layers and all this. I said, what the heck am I doing here? You know, all I needed was the one, but then I was playing with it, so I just kept throwing one bead after another there. I could correct this problem I have right here. This is past center now, so that's fine. It's 90 degrees. However, if I go to turn it, I'm locked without helping it a little bit get back in place. So I could cure this by moving this bracket, slicing it, moving it up in here, and re-welding it. That would give me the angle I need, but I think we'll just leave it for right now, and we'll just have to assist it when we're coming off of the 90-degree spot. The double gimbal works, and there it's flush up here now. If I want to put something up here, step on the foot pedal and turn it and weld it at the same time. Almost finished. Fun project.